pooch? What's that? Looking for the pooch?
Up back there. Talking to the young guy.
Oh, right.
Got his back turned to us.
Yeah, no wonder I couldn't see him.
I like to just leave him naturally. I think it's great.
Yeah, I do. Rumbles?
I hate interrupting the conversation. I really do, because obviously I'm not interrupting at the back there. I really hate interrupting the conversation because, you know what, this is what Paul is about. It's all about community. It's so wonderful to see so many of you here again today. Thank you, thank you. The return of some really missed faces, bless your heart, and welcome to those whose first venture out on this path is here today, so welcome. We are, throughout December, as part of our Divine Service, having a wonderful talk and wonderful series of inspirations from the Reverend Ashley Oliver. So Ashley will be commencing our service. After that part of the service, and we've got interactive things, and we all want to know what they are, why have we got these? After the introduction from the Reverend Ashley, we have the return of a wonderful, wonderful lady, been far too long. Phyllis Rumney, she is a CSNU holder with the SNU from Christchurch, and it's a great joy to have you back with us, Phil, and especially at this time of year, because this is the time when we embrace friends, family, and everything. So, thank you. Big warm welcome too to everybody watching us online, wherever you are in the world. Enjoy the service. So, if I can ask the Reverend Ashley to commence. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. It's really, really lovely to see you all again today, and I'm very excited to bring a little bit of audience participation into today, as bigged up by Lawrence. So I hope it fulfills all of our expectations to get you involved in it. So as we know, today is the second Sunday in Advent. And for those of you that don't know me and didn't see what I talked about last week, I would like to initially at this stage make some liturgical apologies. I'm going to be looking at things in the Advent story out of sequence with the way that things should follow in the year. But this is purely just asking my inspirers and Spirit what they want to talk about, what they want to weave from the Nativity story and bring it to as part of this divine service today. So today is the second Sunday in Advent, and we're going to be looking at it from a really kind of metaphysical point of view. We're not going to be looking at it from a purely Christian perspective, nor are we going to be looking at it from a kind of a spiritualist perspective. So we're going to be talking about angels. Angels. And we could go on for a very long time about angels. And I was inspired to bring you this beautiful piece of artwork. And I tried really hard to find a depiction of angels that didn't have them, you know, stereotyped into one particular ethnicity, one particular gender, that kind of embraced all representations of angels from all of the many holy books and faith paths that come across angels, primarily in the Abrahamic faith, but angels kind of appear everywhere. So I was going to ask, before we light the Advent candle, can anyone think of what you know of angels? And feel free to put your hands up or shout out. What do we know about angels?
No.
Light beings. Light beings. How wonderful. What else do we know?
Guardians.
When they
Okay.
appear, there's
Yeah.
a piece, there's no words in this vocabulary on earth and sky.
Oh, I love that. The great unknowable
And they do
piece.
trump wings or anything like that. They just came as lovely beings.
Nice,
Really
like that.
fantastic.
You've done some thinking about this. I like it.
There's many angels on the earth.
Beautiful. Many angels on the earth. Beautiful. Lovely. Thank you. So the reason why I asked that is because there's a lot written about angels, and obviously angels feature quite heavily in the Nativity story. In fact, angels are mentioned 15 times in the New Testament, and 5 of those times are within the Nativity story. So what we do know about angels is it's a code that's written down in many, many faith paths. It's a code for something big happening. Pay attention, something big is going to happen. And that's really when angels come into play. And I like to think of angels as being a bridge. And the word angel comes from the word angelos, which means messenger. So I like to think of angels being that energetic bridge. If we think the symbolism of, I forgot to ask, what tends to appear when angels are around? What do we see? Light. Do we get any other little prompts or signs or signals?
Somebody being close to you.
Somebody being close to you. I love this. See, you can tell we're talking in a spiritualist church because we've immediately gone to direct communication with the spirit world being around us. Brilliant.
People connect with feathers.
Feathers, thank you. Yeah, for anyone who kind of is maybe new on their spiritual path, they may see loads of feathers. And, you know, the story goes that when feathers are around, when angels are near, feathers get dropped, that kind of thing, or they respond to our requests for prayer and healing. I like to think of feathers as being the mechanism that the angels are using because we can only be limited by our own human thought. And for us, the idea of teleportation, time travel, it all gets very blurred. So a really lovely way for us to be able to elicit the way that angels can move wherever they want to go is through flight, because we know what birds can do. Birds can fly in the sky. They can be messengers of the God force, if ever you want to recognise that. So feathers are often associated with angels. But as I said, they are cross-cultural, and as we know, they feature within the spiritualist philosophy. So in the principles of spiritualist philosophy, we know it's, you know, communication with our loved ones and then the ministry of angels. So they're obviously playing a role somewhere. We just need to try and piece together what that role is. As anyone, and also in the secular world, people talk about guardian angels quite a lot. I think Phyllis alluded to that there's lots of people we would say, oh, you're my guardian angel. Oh, you're an angel. You've come just when I needed you. So somewhere in our understanding that we were born with, somewhere culturally, we appreciate that angels are special, that they indicate that something special is happening. And so what I'd like to ask you to do is to have a think about, where do we ourselves play the role of angels in other people's lives? And I'd also like to think about the fact that angels, for me, are about unity, and it's unifying what's happening and playing out on the earth plane with that wider order of what is happening in the world of spirit, with that divinity. What is the plan that's being played out? And angels are almost the weavers of the threads between the two. And so if we are influenced by the spirit world as healers, mediums, people who do beautiful artwork, painting, any act that you do in service of the spirit world, I'd like to think that we are the weavers as well of that pattern and that story. So what I'd like you to do on your little doves, if you feel inspired to do that, you can do it now or you can do it when you get home, is to start thinking about where we need to unify ourselves. What prayers are we going to send out for ourselves in order that we can be the best possible people that we can be as servants of that light, as angels on the earth? And if you want to, on the other side, you can write a prayer of where you would like to send an angel. And that can be for anybody, for anything, for animals, for the planet, wherever you kind of feel that vibration. And feel free to write it down on that dove. Take a moment if you'd like to do that now, just reflect. And there's an interesting question here when we ask, and it might not sit very well when we think about ourselves as angels. You might get a good old kick of the old ego trying to say, oh, you've done this wrong and you've done that wrong. We can also ask for the opportunity to be reunited and ask for that holy instant. And of course, in Miracles talks a lot about a holy moment where you recognise that there is an opportunity here for us to grow, and we open our hearts and we open ourselves up to that holy moment to try and elevate our energy so that we can get back onto the right path. That's what angels do. They're messengers to let people know they're either on the right path, and don't fear, don't worry, or you're not on the right path, there's something that's going to happen, you need to be mindful it's going to happen. So ask for that holy moment, ask for that expansive, beautiful energy to come and bring you back onto the pathway. So there's an opportunity for you to write that on your angel if you choose to. And just before I say the prayer, and I'm going to give you a minute while I light the Advent candle, and the Advent candle this week is about that hope and is about that peace. And when I talk about peace, I'm not just talking about the angelic peace that was brought by the angels and archangels in the story. I'm talking about a really deep-seated peace that sits within ourselves, the peace to recognise that we are light beings, that we are connected by that beautiful golden thread to the God force, that we can all act as messengers of good news. We can all help people when they really need it. It's being open and aware when those circumstances present themselves. And if you're ever unsure whether you should intercede, whether you should help, whether you should hang back, it's just to ask that holy moment, just to say, is this the will? Is this in that pathway of light? Is this in this pathway of love? Which is always a really useful Geiger counter just to check. So my angels, I'm going to give you a minute to do that while I light the second Advent candle. Beautiful, thank you everybody. If you'd now like to join me in prayer, I'm going to unify our energy. If you go to that still quiet space, and now we visualise that higher heart energy, that energy within our chakra system, our energy system, the place we instinctively put our hands when we want to feel connected to that God force, whether that is a namaste, prayer hands, simply placing your hand on your heart. Take yourself to that place. And so we ask our loved ones in the spirit world, that divine thread of grace and love that vibrates through all things, through all times and all ages. We ask that present to weave itself around us today in this beautiful service of light and peace. We would like to welcome our loved ones in the spirit world who we know join with us at this time of year especially, to be with us as we gather with our family and make plans. It's no accident that so many messages that are communicated from this very platform talk about a love of this time of year and the joy and the hope that it brings as those people from the loved ones in the world of spirit want to bring that peace and love and hope to us. And so as we gather in the spirit of the divine, in this tapestry of time, we ask that glad tidings are transcended into our ordinary space, that luminous wings, a symbol of transcendence, remind us that there are forces beyond the visible, guiding us towards a higher understanding. The angel's presence was not a spectacle, but a profound announcement that consciousness was rising, and a transformation and a light process was about to dawn. As we move through the journey of Advent, let us embody the spirit of the angels, being messages of hope to people around us, heralding compassion, being the carriers of light in our daily interactions. Let kindness be our proclamation, understanding our song, and let our love be our guiding star. May the wings of angels continue to protect us, flood the world with light and healing, and in this sacred space and temple of our hearts, remind us that we are all part of the divine symphony. Each note contributes to the harmonious melody of existence. And so it is. Awen, Aho, Amen.
Beautiful. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
That was lovely. Thank you so much. Before I introduce again the wonderful Phyllis, we will have our healing time. And this, I always remind you, you are all healers. Healing is expressing love. It is as simple as that. It is not complex. It is not convoluted. It does not require years of training. It is simply to express your love. So during this time, we'd ask you to send out your thoughts to wherever you are drawn, be it the environment, the animal world, yourselves, family, friends. It matters not, because your heart leads and your energy will follow. During this time also, we invite you, if there is anybody in particular you would like mentioned, simply raise your hand. When I point to you, just call out their name. It is as simple as that. The intelligence of spirit. You know, we keep leaving spirit out of the equation at times. Spirit are intelligent, active, vibrant beings, and they understand and they know and will act in accord. So enjoy this time of peace, of contemplation, reflection, most of all, of healing. Thank you. Tim and Lucy. Divine and infinite Spirit, God of our own understanding, we thank you for this time of reflection and this timely reminder also that we are all healers, all able to express love through word, through thought, through deed, to bring about upliftment and healing in others and ourselves also. Amen. Amen. Phyllis, my darling. We can come to you now. Phyllis, reading followed by hand address together.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Do also haven't got a reading.
Oh no!
All week I was trying to get a reading. And the Spirit was saying, nah. I've got to give a reading, come on. I mean, in here is so many beautiful people. All your souls have joined together in that wonderful prayer this morning by Ashley. It was actually, the vibration was absolutely wonderful. But during the week, I was changing over handbags. I don't do that very often. When I do that, I'll do, and that's it. But I was going somewhere special, and I picked up a handbag I hadn't used for a while. And in it was just a little saying. So this is really what I'm going to give you today, and it's something all of you think. I got this from a wonderful medium called Leah Bond. Do you remember Leah Bond? And that must be going back nearly 30 years.
Just a little, we stopped counting years.
Yeah. Oh, it makes you think. But it just shows what wonderful people that are on the platform that we come across who's got a beautiful heart. But this has got to recognise, all of you will do. I got up early one morning and rushed right into the day. I had so much to accomplish, I didn't have time to pray. Problems just tumbled about me, and heavier came each task. Why didn't God help me, I wondered. He answered, you didn't ask. I wanted to see joy and beauty, but the day toiled on grey and bleak. I wondered why God didn't show me, he said. You didn't seek. I tried to come into God's presence. I used all my keys at the lock. God gently and lovingly chided. My child, you didn't knock. So I woke up early this morning and paused before entering the day. I have so much to accomplish. I had time to pray, which is so very important. Each morning it is time to say hello. So come on, everybody. We all have time to pray. You've been in prayer this morning. Spirit is so close with you all. Feel in your heart of all that is around you. Everybody is rushing around at the moment. Everyone is trying to buy presents for somebody else. Everybody's worried about the cooking. Everybody else about them, they've got enough food. Don't you all eat for the other 51 weeks of the year? And why are all the shops so full at this present time? They don't need to be full with everybody shopping. I've had people even last night saying to me, what are you doing for Christmas? I said, I don't actually, I was quite rude. I'm not going to do what I said, but I mean, I really did. And I said, oh, well, what are you going to cook? Oh, I said, I've got something in the freezer. Oh, but aren't you having anything special? Oh, no. I'm going to cook for my family on Boxing Day. So why am I going to have something special on Christmas Day? Cheese and biscuits would do nicely, or something to keep it down. I have a nice glass of wine with it. Don't jump, I won't stop on that. But it's Christmas, we have to think of it in the right context and what we want to give. No, I haven't got family with me on Christmas Day. Come on, half my family are over in Tenerife, enjoying the sun. So there's my daughter, son-in-law, my grandson, his partner, and my great-grandson. Yes, I will be in touch. We do FaceTime for about a quarter of an hour. So they're not left out, and my other daughter only lives 8 miles from me, so we'll be seeing her the following day and their grandchildren. So we're not alone. As long as I can give that little bit to know they are loved, and that is really what is giving. Giving Christmas is the most important thing. Now, what is the best present you can give all your family and all your friends? Because we've all got friends who are lonely. We all have friends who live on their own. So what can we give to people this Christmas you don't always seem to have time for? And that is it. It's time. You need to give time to people. We had a friend we took out yesterday who lives alone. And it was a time that we gave, and we picked her up and took her. She's a lonely person, she's a widow. And she's not going to have Christmas alone, she's got a friend coming. But all those other 50 weeks of the year, she's lonely. So we just have to give her time. Last Christmas, I sat with a girl who was so suicidal. And I just sat and I listened. And you all know the person. But it's giving my time. I had plenty to do that day, but she needed me at that time. And I always say thank you. So really, what does Spirit and the angels, when you said write an angel, and I've written on here, the angel within, to go where it is needed. Because all of us have got this softness inside. We've all got something that we can go out and share. Share what you've got, your feelings. Go where it is needed. I phoned somebody up 3,000 miles away before now and they were crying their eyes out. Why did I do that? It's got to be an angel or something that comes into you to say you need to do something, and you have to listen to that inner self. You need to listen to what you are needed. It's not sitting down and thinking about it. When the angels want to do some work, they'll come to you and say, we can't make sense. Can you make sense of it? So that what we're being taught inside of us, this softness that we've got. We've all got love that we can share. Christmas, we all want family around us. My biological family are all in the spirit world. When you stop and think about it, I've got 8 siblings in the spirit world. I've got their spouses in the spirit world. I've got my mum and dad in the spirit world. Yes, I'd like someone to come round, as long as mum comes round about Christmas. But I won't call upon them. Perhaps they would like Christmas alone as well. Perhaps they don't always want to be called upon to be with you. But when you sit quietly, they come when they want. And I think that's the most important thing about spirit. Let them come to you as they are needed. You can't ask, I never ask spirit for anything. I don't ask for a parking stick place or anything like that. That's up to me to find my own parking space. It's up to me to do my own shopping. You always say, oh, spirit, just be with me. Because I am a physical person and I go about my physical life. Spirit is within the sanctuary. Spirit is with love. But you go about your other daily life. If people require that extra kick, perhaps spirit will come to you to help one another. Because this is what we're on the earth for, is for helping others. It's not a one-way passageway for yourself. Just think of Christmas. So I'll tell you what I said. I don't know, we're online, aren't we? We are online, what I said for Christmas. But I'm not going to have a nice quiet day. My husband and I will have a nice quiet day. I don't think, if there's any cooking to be done, he'll do it. I'm going to make sure I have a day. Enjoy your day this Christmas. Don't slave over a hot stove. Think of time to be with spirit, because this is really what I want to do. Because my telephone doesn't stop. There's always something's needed. I'd like to have just 48 hours for me. I'll include my husband actually in the dog. But otherwise, let us give our thoughts and our prayers. And this is the most important thing. Give your prayers out to those. Get up Christmas morning or lay in bed and say your prayers. It doesn't matter where you give your time, because the angels will come. The spirit will come. And if you fill that room with love, that love will go out through the universe to where it is needed. Because this is where we need to be, is feeling that love from within. But share it. We've all got gifts that we have been given to share. Let us share those gifts with other people and give that love. Think of your loved ones who are in the spirit world. Send them love for Christmas. You haven't got to ask them to come through. Just send your love to the spirit world, to your loved ones, to say, I'm here if I'm needed. And I say, God bless you. Have a wonderful Christmas, but really feel that love. I can really feel the energy of the spirit within. Share that love. We all have it. The whole room is full of love. Actually, there's a great big circle around the room, full of love and an energy. And I say, God bless. I think you've heard me enough, don't you?
That was lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you, Phyllis. That was beautiful. We're now going to move on to our piece of music for the day. During this time, Sue will be taking the collection for the further work of this your church.
Joy to the world, the Lord Let earth receive a king. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. Joy to the earth, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills and plains repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy, repeat, repeat the sounding joy. No more let sin and sorrow grow, nor thorns infest the ground. He comes to make his blessings flow, far as the curse is found, far as the curse is found, far as the curse is found. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love.
Before I hand the platform over to Phyllis once more for the demonstration of evidential mediumship, as always, we remind you this is a three-way event. If you are just sat there passively, not interacting, that's all you're going to get out of it. Seriously, nothing. But if you engage, if you realise this is your loved ones, they've come here to talk with you. Not at you, with you, and to share that life that we shared. This is what spiritualism is. It brings things alive. It is not a passive state of energy, it's a very active state. So, to be in that energy, we require you to be part of that conversation. Do we not?
Yes. You've all been told.
Here we go. So, if Phyllis should come to you, please, a nice clear
Yes. No. Maybe.
Poor old Tobes.
Thank you, Toby. Darling, thank you.
Thank you. Ashley, while you were talking, and you were talking about the feathers, I thought you ought to have seen my garden this morning. My husband was feeding 22 pigeons. When he was out there, it was raining, and there he is throwing these seeds out for these pigeons. So yeah, I've got plenty of plenty of things that come through, and also he fed the squirrel as well with a biscuit. Digestive, specially bought for the squirrels. But that's our life. We love animals. I love to be. Haven't got a very big garden, right on in the main road, but the animals know where to come to have a good one. Right. I would like to come to this gentleman over in the corner here.
Yes,
Was your wife a good cook?
yes,
Because I got apple pie smelling here.
yes.
All of a sudden, I thought, oh, I've got this lady here, and she wants to give you an apple pie. It's not a mince pie.
No,
It was an apple pie,
yes,
because she must have been famous in her apple pies,
yes,
in the way she's coming. She's a very good cook,
yes,
from what I'm getting. She was a lovely lady inside as well as out.
yes,
She was beautiful, actually, wasn't she?
yes.
I know you thought so, but so did many other people as well.
Yeah.
And she was very careful in her dress. because I brought a very well-dressed lady. And I thought, well, where does this beautiful, well-dressed lady do? Ending up in the kitchen, rolling out pastry. You know, this is it. But that was her. She was a homemaker.
Yes.
And her home was her life. Christmas meant a lot for the two of you.
Yes.
This is what she's saying. You're going to miss that feeling of her being there. You know from the Spirit, she's telling me that she will be there. She's aware that you can't see her in the physical. But she wants you to know, I want to give you a little tipple for Christmas. I just got a little glass of sherry, sort of thing, for that, because she wasn't a drinker, was she?
Yes.
At all. She was, I don't feel, don't want to prop this up, but she wasn't a drinker, but she wanted to give you a glass to say a love. It's Christmas. I think it's the old-fashioned sherry, you know, that she's bringing through. But you remember the sherry. That's all we could afford at Christmas in our early years. This is how she's going to back how hard it was on your first year, and how you both grew together.
Yes.
You both grew up together, because you were quite young when you got married. But there was quite, the way I've got is this love that seemed to get bigger and bigger and bigger as your life went on. And this is how she's shown me that love that she has for you is absolutely beautiful. But will you please take, she's coming through to give you her love. She's coming to, because your smile hasn't been on your face as much of late. So she's come to bring you this smile, to be with you, and to say thank you for all the years we had, the joy that we had. But she'll be with you on Christmas. Remember, on Christmas morning, when you sit on your bed, she's going to be beside you. And I'll say, God bless you, just to let you know she's there. It's such a beautiful love that I have got. I've never felt this circle of growing up, going up the pinnacle till you get to almost perfection in your commitment to each other. And I'll say, God bless you. Lovely. What a wonderful feeling that has come through with your wife. And this is Christmas, isn't it? This is really what it should be. It's the love that's coming through from there. Now, I'm going from the sublime to the ridiculous, actually. I don't know where I am 100%. I want to go back a few years. This person was a member of the church, and she was a healer. And I feel as though she was a healer, she was a nurse as well, because I've got a nurse's uniform going down this aisle. And she was part of this church. And she would make, yes? Oh, sorry, I didn't recognise you.
Sorry.
It's your wife, isn't it? But I had her here when I was sat over there. She loved Christmas, didn't she?
Oh, yeah.
But and I got what I did. I had this nurse's uniform coming up there, but I knew she belonged to the church. That she did healing here as well as nursing. And it's very sad because she passed with cancer. I have said, well, you've come through with this love that you have, but she had this love for her family. She wants you to know that she's so proud how you've kept the family together. She said you make sure that you celebrate her passing, her birthdays, and everything with the family. She said you've kept, from the spirit world, she said she always joins you as you get together. on these occasions. However much you try, there would be no one to replace her. Can you understand? That love, you might fall in love with others, but do you know what I mean? This was a once and only love that she is telling me. She had beautiful eyes, didn't she? Actually, all of a sudden, as I'm looking at you, I'm seeing her looking at you and the way that she's coming through. And it is absolutely wonderful that she's coming through. She said she's fine in the spirit world. She said that the family's got larger since she's been over the other side. In other words, you must be her grandfather, or, you know, now that the children, she said, it's expanded since she went to the spirit world. But to let you know, she's there all the time with her children, because they were her life, her family, and spirit, because she was a very spiritual lady, a very gifted lady, a wonderful healer, and she had this softness in here that nobody else could have. And this is how she's coming through. But it's that love, this Christmas love. Christmas was, for her, was fun and games. Because all of a sudden I've got all these Ludos and all the different games all coming out at Christmas. Oh gosh, that takes me back many years. You don't see it so much now, but it's interactive games between the children and the two of you. And Christmas Day was full of fun and full of laughter. It wasn't the amount you spent on presents at all. It was the togetherness I wish was around a little bit more today. But this is how she's showing me that you're interacting and making sure your grandchildren are learning the same. And he said that what she taught her children, they are teaching the grandchildren. So much love with her as she's coming through. She had dark hair, please, because I've got really dark hair here as she's standing there. And so this wonderful smile, this eyes, and are still stuck with her nurse's uniform. She said she'd never take that off because nursing was her life. But her family was her life, other life. But she was always committed to helping others. So although she's in the spirit world, she's still helping you. She's still giving you that love. And she'll be playing games with you at Christmas. So if you lose a dice or something, you'll know that she's pinched it. So she's going to play havoc with you over the Christmas period. And I say, God bless you. Thank you. I want to say thank you to her to bring it through, because bringing that nurse's uniform shows that life has got to be continual. There's no rest, really. We need to be helping others all through our lives. I say, God bless you. Thank you very much. Oh, she makes me want to cry. It's actually lovely. I won't come to bloke in the green shirt. The green jumper. Can I come to the lady in front of him, please? Beautiful lilac-y and white. I can't see faces very much because I've taken my glasses off, because I always feel it's much better if I take my glasses off. I can't be saying while you're reading them. That's true, what people do say, don't they? So if I take my glasses off, I've just got a blur, and I've got this, and I want to say, are you two just friends?
Yes.
I don't feel you're related at all.
Neighbours.
Well, it's the best, the neighbours at Christmas. But I want to come to the lady because I really feel I've got Mum with you in the spirit world. She loved Christmas, didn't she?
She did, yeah.
All I've got is sausage rolls with your Mum. I seem to have sheets of them, you know. She would sit down a few days before Christmas and she'd start rolling, and she'd put them all in a tin.
Yeah.
I've got the old-fashioned biscuit tin.
Yeah, that's right.
And this is how I'm having it them put in, was this. But she can't go without, it'd still be there on New Year's Eve, you know, because she would make so many. It wasn't so much the mince pies, it was the sausage rolls that she loved. Because money was quite short in her day. You know, Christmas was almost make your own decorations. I've got the old-fashioned lick them, let's make it, you know, getting the rings together. This is how she's bringing it through. Oh, she said I used to have a sore tongue at the end of it. She said, but that's all they could afford at the time. And if you could get something that opened up, that was absolutely fantastic, which I think she managed to get one a year or something, you know, trying to get it more. But she said again, it was the fun of Christmas. There was never any much money. But she did try her hand at making a Christmas cake. I was running to say, come on, let's have a Christmas pud. But it wasn't, it was a Christmas cake that she put together. It took her ages even to try and think of getting everything together and do it. She's laughing about it. But I think she had the help of the children. It was a family affair. And it ended up with rough icing. I'm doing this with the icing, you know, just to make the icing, and that is it, how it's coming through. But isn't it lovely that they're bringing you the memories? And I don't think you made your Christmas cake this year. I think this is shop bought, if anything. She said it wasn't easy like that in my day. She said the celebration's entirely different these days to when you were a child, and when she was growing up, entirely different. Before she passed, did she have a back trouble? All of a sudden, my right leg's not working properly.
She had trouble with her legs.
You know, all of a sudden, my leg's really going wobbly.
Yeah.
Actually, it's quite painful, you know, with that. So I asked her to take that away. It's just to let you know it is Mum, you know. I like to bring some proof that you know who it is, and that's what I've got, because she had trouble walking in her latter years.
Yeah.
She wasn't one for complaining, though.
Not really, no.
Well, it had to be desperate for her to complain. But she's bringing you love for this Christmas, because there's someone who's not going to be there that should be. All right? Yeah. This is all that she's saying. You have to let me know later if I'm right. If she's right, it's not, well, Spirit, I get it wrong. Spirit never wrong. But it's my interpretation. Can be wrong. But Mum's been over for some years. A few years. But she would be missed at any rate at Christmas, because she's well thought of.
Yes.
And even her grandchildren talk about their nan,
Yeah.
because she was such an influence in their lives. She's going to be with you on Christmas Day. So remember to lay a place, she said.
Okay.
But each year you usually do. You think of your mum. And I really want to give her a glass of sherry with your mum for Christmas. But didn't drink the rest of the year, I don't feel at all. But there was a little drink at Christmas. The traditional drink. Either port. I've got port here, not sherry. Do you want to think about that?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh. God, Spirit, I got it right. I interpreted it right. It's port, not sherry. It's just a different, darker colour. Do you know something? I bought a bottle of port last year and it's still in the Go on, that's given me a thing.
I'm coming home with it.
Yeah. Can I have a bottle of lemonade so we can have port and lemon? That used to be a drink, didn't
Oh,
it,
yeah.
many years ago? The lady next to you, your husband in spirit, please.
Yes.
Because all of a sudden I've got a gentleman
Yes.
laughing. He had a terrible sense, I can't say that. He had a good sense of humour. But it was a terrible sense of humour, the way that he's coming through. He can make a joke on anything. You know, it was very sarcastic in his way.
Sometimes.
But he's coming through And he said, we had a good life.
Yeah, we did.
There was a lot of laughter.
Yeah.
He said, and this is really what he was trying to bring you to this morning, because you've been a bit down like this.
Yes, yes.
Or all of a sudden he's put your chin down on the floor. Look how it's coming through. But he's bringing through that love
Lovely.
that you had, and the laughter. And the children
Yes,
were his number one.
we were.
I think they came before you.
I think they did.
From the way his personality, he lived for his kids.
Yes, he did.
And he's saying kids, not children. So I live for my kids. To watch them grow. Look at them now, haven't they done well?
Yeah, they are.
She said they've done much better than I thought they would. He's saying that. But she's saying, you've done well to keep them always on the straight and narrow.
That's right.
She said, and you've kept the family together,
Yes.
she said. Although they're so independent now.
Oh, yeah.
He's just telling me, they get on their bike and they want to do their thing. That the family doesn't, right. It actually, sometimes you feel you're put on the shelf sometimes.
That's right.
This is how your husband's putting it.
Yeah.
That I've got a boy who's putting it, so we're going to do this. What about mum? Oh, well, it doesn't really matter.
That's right.
You
That's
know?
true. Yeah.
And that is really, and inside you're feeling a little hurt,
Yes,
very much inside. But it's wonderful that your husband understands that. But he said, just remember he loves you and he's still with you as you go about your day. And you say your prayers every day.
I do.
Thank you. Because he's telling me. He says prayers with you every day. You say, and he said you say your prayers from in here. It's not from up here.
No.
You say it from as you're feeling. Your prayer is talking to God. It's not a prayer as such, as you're talking to God. And you always say thank you for what you've got. And this your husband is telling, and it's a lovely feeling of this love that you have for the spirit world and the continuation of life. I could say your mum, your dad, you've got an uncle in the spirit world. You've got so many people
Oh, yeah.
that come through. But I just had to bring your husband through first, because he's the one that understands the torment
Yes.
that you're going through
Right.
at this time.
Yes.
And it's lovely that he's come through to say he sees what's going on. And he's doing his best
Yes, he is.
to do the alteration.
So,
And I say, okay, and I say, God bless you.
thank you.
All right? Thank you very much.
Lovely, Phil.
Is that it? Oh, isn't it lovely? I could go on all day. The way that spirit has come through. And I say thank you all very much for your energy, because without you I wouldn't have a job to do, would I? It's
True.
like being in contact with you all. God
And
bless.
without you, I wouldn't have to hoover. So thank you. Thank you, Phil. We have missed you. It was lovely, beautiful. The notices, quite a lot this week. We have on Monday evening, our healing circle will be sitting, open to those wishing to receive healing from 7:15. This will be the last healing session of this year. It's come around quick.
Yeah, it
So
has.
our church registered healers, if you're here for 6:45, anybody wishing to receive healing for 7:15, that'd be great. Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock we have a gong bath being taken by Scania Price. On Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock we have the development circle, open development circle, and we'll be focusing on clairvoyance, clear seeing in this circle. On Saturday we have our Christmas markets from 11 till 4. We have Mark Stone will be having stand out in the healing room behind the altar here, full of all his product. You see, you all know Mark Sharp, Lawrence. We don't need to explain that. So Mark will be out in the back room there. He's there on Saturday and on Sunday. But on the Saturday here in the church, we have the Cheshire Cheese Company, Dorset Ginger Company, Q&A Wines, J&R Chocolate Factory, guess where I'm going to be all day, Sarah Jane with all her stained glass work, all the ornaments and things and trimmings for trees, and Chestnut Nursery over the road. So they've all got stands here. It's to support local traders, local vendors, you know, keep it local. We'll also have a cafe on the day serving hot and cold food, hot and cold drinks. So that's Saturday from 11 till 4. As I say, on Sunday, Mark will be here from 11 till 4 with his stand in the healing room there. And he is also going to be taking our service at 11 a.m. and again accompanied by the lovely Ashley. And, drum roll. Dear. Oh, well, that won't be number one, will it? We have some lovely live music next Sunday as well. The wonderful Sue is bringing in her keyboards. So next Sunday's service will be slightly longer, so we'll probably finish about 12:15. After which we will be drawing the raffle. Now the raffle has been very generously donated by one person who wishes to remain anonymous. So thank you, thank you. That was just such a wonderful thing to open the door up and it's instant raffle, just add tickets. Thank you to Paul, he's got an A-level in being a professional nuisance and selling the tickets, so well done, thank you, thank you, thank you. Right, Christmas Day. Christmas Eve, we have a service, and that'll be at 4 o'clock. It is a Sunday, but the 11 o'clock service is a busy day. It's the last chance to get those bits. So we're going to have the service at 4 in the afternoon. That'll be an hour-long service. Lovely Ian is chairing. Oh, by the way, would you chair on Christmas Eve, Ian?
Oh, thank you, Lord. You have.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you. So, we volunteer well, after all. Thank you, Ian. So Ian will be chairing the service, I'll be taking the service, and again we have the lovely Sue will be with the keyboard, so we can have a good proper carol sing-song. It's all about tradition this year, and it's just so strong, this energy. Christmas Day. The volunteers who are coming in, thank you so much. Seriously, thank you. We've got the volunteers now. You're here for 11. Doors will open at 11:30. We aim to have the hot food out for 12 till 2:30, and then we're going to kick you out at 4 because by then I'll have enough of you, and then I'll want to drink as well. All right? But seriously, amazing. You know, I don't know if you've looked at the board. You've done it. You know, the giving, the generosity has covered the food. It's covered the hire of some of the equipment we need. We've got people picking up equipment that's being loaned to us. I've got an oven, an extra oven across the road. Mwah! Thank you. Pots have come in. You know what? It's just incredible. Seriously, it's absolutely amazing. And it's all about Christmas Day. That if you're on your own or if you're isolated in your community, just the two, you know, don't want to sit there looking at each other as gain over the Christmas table, come down. Seriously, come down. Don't be alone. I've said this a few times. I've had a few Christmases on my own to cut my nose off to spite my face, and they were not good. They seriously were not good. So we are open to everybody. You will get a hot lunch. We've got roast turkey, you've got roast buds, we've got Brussels, we've got lots of Brussels. There is a vegan option to cover the vegans and vegetarians. There's, yay. Yeah, I'm going to cook it under the turkey.
Oh, I love that.
We'll have buffet for starters, buffet for desserts, and we've got a carvery unit coming in over the back there. So yeah, seriously, it will be a dry day. I must emphasise that because we've got a lot of people who are coping with addictions, and it's unfair that we're making whoopee when somebody is finding that difficult. Yeah. So just for those few hours, it will be a dry day. Don't worry, you can keep a tinny or a hippie in the car. Not looking at anybody in particular. Just like the entire congregation, never mind. So again, thank you so much. That's just amazing. It's just amazing this is all happening. In between Christmas and New Year, Thursday the 28th, we've got an evening of mediumship with Mark Stone and myself. And New Year's Eve, we have 2 gong bars for you. One is at 4 till 5, or the other one is 6 till 7, and that's through Scania Price. And then we reopen on Monday the 8th for healing. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart. You know, this is just absolutely awesome. And I will pre-warn you, if I go very quiet on Christmas morning, it's because I'm busy, all right? Don't stand there thinking, oh, have I upset him? Seriously, you will know if I've upset you. You will seriously know that. All right, but it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. And please, 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 don't be on your own. Come down, you know? Anyway, shout Lawrence. Phyllis. If I could ask you for the closing blessing. Thank you, my darling.
Let us thank our God, our spirit guides, that eternal energy that brought us here in this wonderful sanctuary this morning. We have felt the love, and the love as it's emanated, may it go out throughout the world where it is needed, as we say thank you for our presence in your life. Amen.
Amen. Phyllis, thank you. Beautiful service. Ashley, thank you. Thank you again for what you're bringing. We're all waiting now for next week's part of the story. Yay! Most of all, thank you. Because as Phyllis quite rightly says, without your presence, nothing would happen. So thank you for bringing your love, your open-mindedness, your enjoyment and your embracing of this time with those loved ones. Seen or unheard matters not, they are with us.
Are we offline yet?
Are we offline yet, Todd? Can you take us offline? Phyllis wants to swear.
I was going to tell everybody what I was
And
going to
YouTube.